All right, GNGM guys, we're live. We're live, and GMGM guys, we're live. Hope everyone can hear me. Yeah, actually, I think your camera, okay, camera is up now. All right, let me share GMGM. Actually,
Yeah.
let me share the link in the Telegram channel. Yeah, GMGM Victor. All right, so we're live. Yeah, so actually, it's how you seeing the state of the market currently.
Um, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. It's quite fun. Since this week, I think we have just been going down. Today is Tuesday. Okay, today is Tuesday, sure. But I was actually
Yeah,
expecting
today's
that since there was a huge dump yesterday, Sunday, I was hoping that maybe throughout maybe during the evening time of yesterday, we might actually see Bitcoin
yeah.
picking up or crypto picking up. But I was actually surprised none of those things actually happened. I was surprised we just keep tanking, tanking, tanking. Man, I was actually hoping that maybe crypto Bitcoin go up today again, or to
Yeah.
market might actually recover today before going a little bit down tomorrow. But it doesn't even seem like it is actually moving. It just keeps us. I just feel like it might just keep tanking throughout today. So it's
Well,
quite funny. The crypto markets it's actually getting unpredictable. But from what I'm seeing, from what I'm seeing, uh, I'll just be watching. Let me just be observing. Let me be observing because I plan to short Bitcoin trade today, but I
okay.
plan to trade tomorrow. But what happens today will determine my intake for tomorrow. So I'll just be let me just watch for the meantime and see what will happen today.
All right, all right. Before I give my own analysis, let's look at crypto bubble, the last 24 hours. So if we notice, market is down, similar to yesterday, but Decreed is still showing signs of green, just Decreed and peeping. These are like the two major projects showing signs of green. Every other project is on red. So we won't be spending much time on on crypto bubble. But if we are to zoom out a bit to the last 1 week, find out that Decreed is still in profit from its last week price, still in about almost 18% profit. Peeping is still in profit, Kite profit. But most other projects are down. Yeah, most others are down. The last 1 month, Decreed is still in almost 50% profit, Kite 100%, Peeping over 100%. Hype is still holding up, stable, and Morpho is still holding up. Besides that, Asta is still up 7%. Every other project is down. And obviously, in the last 1 year, just a few greens too that we're seeing. Very, very few greens that we're seeing. So let's just jump straight to look at BTC charts. Yesterday we took a trade on BTC, trade that was shared here on BTC yesterday, but I didn't take the trade, and I said it that I won't be taking it. I shared my reason why I won't be taking that particular BTC trade based on the brief analysis we did yesterday. So this was the analysis we did on BTC yesterday. For those that joined us yesterday, this was BTC was somewhere around here. when we took this shot, and this was when we put our SL. Now, personally, I said I wasn't going to take this trade. The trade actually played out well, or I explained why I said I wasn't going to take it. Why is because I said Bitcoin might push a bit higher above this other block that I drew here. It might push a bit higher. So that might require expanding your SL much more higher, or waiting for it to get into this zone, this area, before you can short. But for me, I said I was going to prefer to short from this level. Get a preferred short from this level. That's if it gets to that price, then I would load up reasonable shots from that level. So I didn't take this particular trade, but it played out well. So we're going to look at what BTC has done so far. I also did say something that yesterday that I was not so comfortable with this level, how BTC reacted from this level. So I'm expecting it to get back here and take out this level. But before that happens, I was expecting it to just push in a bit to like this zone before coming down. Now we saw BTC crash, and I also stressed something very important. I said we need to see where BTC would close this week, because this month candle closes this week, I think by Saturday, Sunday. So I stressed that obviously where BTC is headed is down to this level. This dump we saw, I think that was Sunday night that we saw this dump, Sunday night stroke Monday morning. I said it that I wasn't so comfortable with how it broke below this zone. So I needed to properly break below this zone, which that happened. That happened yesterday. So if we zoom to the daily, if we zoom out to daily, you can see that clearly. This is yesterday's candle. So it closed below this zone. As at this time yesterday, this candle had not closed. As at this time yesterday, this candle had not closed. But afterwards, around 12 a.m., it closed, and this other candle was a no-brainer. This dump was very, very expected. Like this crash all the way to this level, it was very expected. So same thing, nothing much has changed. We are still waiting to see what happens this February. Like I said, if it closes like this, it will be brutal. If it closes here, we should expect it to go much lower. But if we still go down this week to take out 59K, still not bad. At least we know the worst has almost happened. Then we can expect March to give us like some kind of retracement. Can expect March to do that, maybe like just a brief retracement before we continue going down. Probably retrace to like this level before we continue going down. But so far, so good. We've had an insane dump all the way from 98K, which was January. We've had a consistent daily and weekly dump, like consistently. If you look at this zone we're in now, this is just a zone that's like it's ranging. What we're doing here is we've been ranging since the month of February. Within this zone, we've been ranging. Once we are done ranging, it's one of two things. It's either we go towards the upside or we crash further. Now, if we're crashing further, let me get a cleaner chart. Just something cleaner. Okay, so if we're crashing further, just a minute, let me zoom out to monthly. I think this was the chart I used to analyze either yesterday or Friday. I think Friday. If we're crashing further, then we'll be looking at the range of 50K. That's what we'll be looking at, 49, 50K. And hopefully we don't go below this 49, 50K zone. Hopefully we don't. Right now, I'm leaning towards we not going below that, because anything that makes us go below 49, 50K, then there'll be most likely nothing stopping us from getting to like the range of 30 something K. There'll be most likely nothing stopping us from getting to that level. So right now, the major support we have is around 49K. You're seeing the monthly chart here on the screen. You can see it like it's very, very clear. You can see all the pump, retracement, pump, and you can see how we broke below this last support that was established last year, April. You can see how we broke below it, and you can see why we're waiting for February to close. You can see it clearly why we need to see February close. So yeah, February can close where it is at right now, and we can still pump towards this level. Maybe it's 3K or 80K. Yes, that is very possible. We might even still go as high as 104K. It's very possible after this whole February candle closes. It's very possible. We can still see that pump, but to be followed by more dumps. So why I'm saying this is so that should you see the market pumping afterwards, because we've had series of red candles, one, two, three, four, five. This is the fifth consecutive red candle we've had monthly on the monthly chart from October till date. This is the fifth, which is it's normal. If we can see five consecutive green candles, sometimes six, there's nothing wrong seeing red consecutive and five consecutive red candles monthly, or maybe even six. But the point here is it is very possible for us to still bounce back to the range of 80K or even as high as 100K and thus still continue our nose dive. It's very, very, very possible. So I need everyone to understand that just so that when you see that pump, you see it as a means to start taking profit out of the market. Maybe new bags that you loaded around here, maybe you can use that as an opportunity to start taking profit. Just in case you're wondering why this zone is like a very solid zone, one of the reasons you should notice this level we're seeing here, this current level, it's a level that was established since the last bull market. You can see it here since 2021. That's when we established this level, like all the way from 2021. We tapped here twice around April, April 2021. We tapped there, then we saw a huge correction to like 29K, and we tapped it again around October, November. We tapped it again and maxed out around almost 70K. Then the last bear market started, and we dumped all the way to about 15, 16K based on FTX crash. Though crashed aggressively because it was Terra Luna month and FTX crashed that sent us below 30K and all. There's always something that tends to make that happen. This year, I don't think we've seen something yet to force us aggressively low. We have not seen any catalyst yet. So far, we haven't. But yeah, we were able to see how we started recovering gradually. Then ETF hype gave us all of this huge pump that we saw within a space of about 2 years. So fingers crossed, have an open mind to what BTC is going to do. Why this zone is going to hold is because it's a zone that has like a price history of almost 4 years since 2021. So there are lots of orders positioned around this level, both buy orders, sell orders, especially buy. There are lots of orders positioned here. You can see how we ranged almost one full year around this level. We ranged from February, March 2024, we ranged till October 2024 around this level before we finally broke out, playing between 73K and 50K. Just that's what we're just doing for almost 6 months or thereabout, or more than I think 8 months before we finally broke out. So we have found ourselves at that level again. We might range here for a while. We might quickly break out of this zone. But the worst that would happen would be for us to break below this zone. That's the worst that would happen. And if that happens and we close below, then we will most likely see 30K range. So have that on the cards and use that to decide your course of action and how you're going to approach the market. Which is why right now we are pro shorts. We are hunting for shorts. That's like one major reasons why now we're just hunting for shorts in the markets basically. Yeah, so let's look at we're going to look at Ethereum soon. If we go back to the previous chart. So, okay. So for now, I'm not taking any trades on BTC personally. I'm not taking any trades. BTC is sitting very close to its previous level that it dumped to. It's sitting very close to where the candle opened, where it opened after we saw the major dump in the month of February. It's sitting very close to that level. So I'm not looking for any long. Rather, what I'll be searching for is short. So I'll just be waiting for BTC to see how it's going to perform around this zone. Now, if you guys recall, I spoke about altcoins. I said because of the dump we're expecting from BTC, it will force altcoins lower. If you notice, it has forced Litecoin down to 50, forced Dash down to about 31, and so many other altcoins, Zcash to 220. We're still waiting. Red to about 15 cents. I think I saw red at 15. And yesterday I was saying hopefully it forces red down to this low. Yeah. So if you notice from yesterday to today, it has forced red below that level, the purple line that I drew, it has forced it below that level, which is interesting. So right now we're still watching, paying attention, expecting lower and lower prices. The lower the alts get, or the lower the altcoins go, the better prices we get in terms of discounts. For River is still within its levels. It has been able to consolidate around this zone for almost 4 5 days now. It's been consolidating around here. So we're still watching River, we're still observing. Now let's look at our gold trade that we took yesterday. The gold trade was actually successful, played out well. I'm anticipating another entry position for gold today. So this was our gold trade from yesterday. It was shared here though. This was actually shared here yesterday. So the trade played out full TP. I don't know if anyone adjusted their TP to benefit from the more pumps, but personally I did not. So it actually played out well. So this is like a re-entry. It hasn't triggered yet. So a re-entry for gold. It has not triggered yet. So this the idea of this re-entry is for continuation. That's the whole idea of this re-entry. It's just to continue the pump towards the upside. That's the whole idea. So it has not triggered yet. I'm still observing it. I'm still observing for now. So maybe by noon it should trigger maybe in the next 4 hours or thereabout. Most likely it should trigger by then. So if you zoom out, let's just briefly zoom out. If you zoom out, you find out that after this breakout that gold had here, which was why we took this long, we had been anticipating that since Sunday when we discussed about when the market would open Sunday night and the opportunity it will present. So this other trade you're just seeing is just a continuation trade, just a continuation trade, and we are not really looking at targeting all the way up. No, it's just a continuation trade, and our TP is just the most recent high that gold has. That's just our TP. So it's a conservative trade and it's straight to the point. We're not trying to be greedy. We're just trying to stick to our 1 to 2. But this one is actually more than it's almost 1 to 3. It's actually more. It's almost 1 to 3. So that's like the only open trade right now that we're expecting. Lastly, let's look at Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. I said yesterday that I was expecting Ethereum to come down lower. That was what I said yesterday, that I was expecting Ethereum to crash much, much lower. So you can see where Ethereum is at right now. It's also sitting on the open price and the last major dump we had in the month of February, where we had like one of the daily open. So I'm still expecting Ethereum to crash and still come down a bit more. I think to around 1.6, 1.516, yeah. I'm expecting it to get to somewhere here. Well, where I'll be interested in bidding will be once I see it around the 1.516 zone, which I explained yesterday that was where the previous rally started from. That's moved Ethereum from 1.5 all the way to 5K within about 3 months or thereabouts. So I'll be looking to stack up or accumulate from that level. Now imagine if anyone had told you that Ethereum was at 4.8 October, because at October, even November, Ethereum was still at 4.4. November last year, that it would be at 1.8 right now. You wouldn't have believed. Yet you would not have believed. That's why one thing you should have at the back of your mind is the market will always provide you with opportunities. You can't run out of opportunities in this market. You just need to make sure that you stay locked in, you stay vigilant and observant, and you don't get too emotional when interacting with the market. Most importantly, try not to get too emotional. Take profit. Take profit. That one can never be overemphasized. Take profit. Yeah, so actually, what do you think before we take questions? What do you think?
Okay, I was meant to share my screen to show what I
Okay,
have for
okay.
BTC for today.
All right, your
So
screen, you can bring it up.
is it visible now?
All right, it's visible.
Okay. So for yesterday, after I closed my short position yesterday, I opened a long position yesterday. So my long position was I was hoping for this place and this place around 66,400 and 67,200. Now I was waiting for 66,400. At a point, I said to myself, man, it might just break this 66 500. Let me just hold it to 67,200. Well, it didn't happen. So at a point, I said, okay, it might just be going up, going down to take this other block, then continue because I set a position, a good position here, so to take it down to this place. But man, it didn't happen. It just came down, went down to this particular 62,000. Now this might start going up again. Normally Tuesdays I don't trade. Monday and Tuesday I kind of leave the position to go long for a long time. Then Wednesday I short again. But the way this market is going, it might just be that Wednesday that it might just try to retrace a bit if it will. But for now, I'm hoping to see
Yeah.
if we can get to 64K or 64 700 before I go short again because this market clearly shows that man we are going up, we are going down. I don't see this market is going up again. Oh. We might go up again on Friday, depending on where we stopped before Friday. Depending on where this market fell before Friday. But for now, I don't see us going low, going any high. So the final target is still around this 60,000 or 59,000. Let's say 60,000 K. That is what where my projection is, what I'm actually projecting as. So 59K. So for now, it is just down, 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 down. But if I must take a position, I'm hoping to get to this position, 64,700 or 64 from 64,000. Then I will know what if this thing will hold or should I just wait for this one. So that is it for me uh, on BTC for at least for today. I'll just be watching to know whether if we get to this point. If not, we might just maybe just go straight to 60,000. Then we can know where we are heading next. So that is it for me today. And that's what I have for BTC for now.
Okay, okay. Just looking at your screen. I'm still looking at your chat though. Okay, so before we take questions, I was just looking at something on your chat basically before we take
Mm-hmm.
questions. It's all right. That's good. That's good. But I'm more concerned about where we would close this week and invariably this month. So right now I'm still just observing and I'm not trying to take any serious trade. Unless I see some alts make some good moves towards the upside, then I'll target shorting them while BTC is still down. I'll target to short, but for now I'm still observing. Yeah, so let's take questions. Someone is saying, looking at gold on the 4 hours chart, what are the chances of it coming back to the resistance and making it future support? Okay, let me just open that the gold chart. Let me open it briefly and just focus on the 4 hours time frame. All right, so okay, so I'll need to open that question again. This is gold on the daily, by the way. So the question is looking at the 4 hours chart, what are the chances of it coming back to a resistance and making it a future support? Well, the chances are still above 50% of it coming back to this is the resistance you're talking of. But this is on the daily though. This is on the daily. This is the resistance we used to come up with our trade idea yesterday. And this is the resistance that we drew for I think since 2 weeks ago or thereabout that we drew this resistance. It's been about 2 weeks ago or first week of February or ending of January, something like that. We drew this and you can see how it bounced off this level. It's rejected and finally it broke out of it. So if I go to 4 hours, which is the time frame you're requesting, we check. So if you notice, we broke out of that resistance and we created a high, after which it's retraced and gathered enough momentum to pump again. Now it's doing another minor retracement again to continue its upward movement. So if you ask me, I would say this support level can hold. I personally do not think, personally, I don't think gold would proceed to go create another new all-time high. Although right now, gold is the currency that has the largest reserve. It has surpassed the US dollar in terms of reserve gold. It's currently the highest globally. So that news might bring about positive momentum to rally to higher prices, but sincerely, I doubt. I still feel we'll still get some correction for gold. Personally, I still think we'll still get some correction for gold. I feel we haven't yet gotten the best correction. Most likely, it will still come down to this level. That's like my own expectation. We'll still come down to this level for gold. When that would happen, I do not know. But short term, this resistance, which is now a support, is supposed to hold to take us to this level and maybe probably to fill the gap around this level before we do another minor retracement. But overall, the expectation is for gold to keep going higher and higher overall, long term, because gold, the pro trend is up. So you're likely to make more profit longing gold than shorting gold. And you're likely to be right more times longing gold than trying to short it. Many other question. There's somebody asked, what's your take on ethic token? Which one is ethic token, please? Is it Eti or which one? I don't know which token that is. I don't know which token that is. Well, yeah, guys, that's all for today. So see you guys tomorrow. We only shared one trade on gold today. That's the only trade we shared. We shared the bias behind that particular trade for gold. It hasn't triggered yet. We just looked at it now. Go down to, it has not triggered yet. This is the only trade on gold. As you can see, it hasn't triggered yet. So we're still observing that and waiting for it to trigger. All right, guys. So that will be all for today, and see you guys same time tomorrow. Join the follow on YouTube if you haven't, or follow on X if you haven't. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Join the Telegram channel if you haven't, where we post some of these calls. and see you guys same time tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Right. Bye.